Okay, here is our online tracking sheet. This is the form that you will submit all the information about an event on. And I'm just going to go over it with you so you understand how to fill it out. However, the first time that you fill it out, you will need to talk to your booker and go over it with them. That's non-negotiable. So the first field is the event type, and that's always going to be table event. You're always going to select that. The second field is rep type, and you're always going to select table rep. The third field is asking if you're the booker, and that is always going to be no. That's for our bookers and managers, so that's always going to be no. Under rep info, you're going to enter your name. In the rep ID field, you're going to enter your phone number, which is going to be the phone number that you used when you first applied with us. If that phone number ever changes, you need to let us know so we can get it updated in the system, because everything will track back to your phone number. In the rep phone, if you have another phone number, you can use that, or you can just put the same phone number that you use for your rep ID. Your rep email is the email that you used to, again, when you registered, when you first applied with us. And the region is going to be Central. That is, I'm assuming that this video is only going to be for people in the Central region, but you'll know what region you're in if you are looking at this and you're not actually in this region. But this has to be correct, because this is how your regional manager will get copies of your reports. The location contact person info, this is going to be the store manager, event coordinator, whoever is the person in charge at the venue that you did the event at. First and last name, job title, like manager, owner, event coordinator, whatever. Location details is going to be the name of the store or the event, the street address, city, state, and zip. The phone number, and this is really important, the phone number always has to match what's in our system. So whatever phone number that you have on the work order that you're sent, or whatever your booker or manager tells you, that is the phone number that you always have to use for that particular location. That's how we track the events. The location, fax, and email, those are not mandatory. If you have them, great. If you don't, then don't worry about it. Event date and time details. I know it seems self-explanatory, but we have had some issues with this. You're going to put the event date. Just click in the box and the calendar will pop up, and you just click on the correct date. The start and end times are the ones that there's been a little bit confusion. They have to be in this format underneath here. So you have to put, for example, if it started at 1 o'clock p.m., you're going to put 01, it has to be 2 digits, a colon, and then 2 digits for the minute, a space, and then either AM in capital letters or PM in capital letters for whatever time it is. And the same thing for the end time. And then you're going to want to put the total hours in this box here. Your expenses, the round trip miles from your home to the event and back, times 25 cents, and that total will go here. If you aren't claiming mileage, you have to put a 0 in this box because the form won't submit without numbers in these boxes. Your other expenses, like for printed materials or gratuity items or whatever, is going to go here. The description in this field, and then again the amount in this field, again has to be zeros if there's nothing to claim. The select a file, that's for any receipts you have, and again the receipts, the resolution on them for any uploads to this form cannot be, there's the two numbers, like whatever number by whatever number for the resolution. Neither one of those numbers can be over 800. And when you name them, you have to name them all the same thing. You're gonna name the date and followed by the event name or the store name or whatever. If you have more than one file that you're uploading to this form, you're going to have to put a number after the title, like a 1 or a 2, all the way on up to however many you have. And we have to have that done because we have to be able, otherwise we can't track those receipts to whatever event they belong to. Okay, so after you've entered all your expenses, then you total the expenses up, and that's including the gas mileage and your other expenses, and that total cannot be more than 20% of the total donations that you take in. So if you brought in $100 in donations, you cannot go over 20%, so you wouldn't be able to go over $20. Now, if you have more than that in expenses, you can roll expenses over to other events. So as long as you don't go over 20% on any one event. Donation activity details, number of signed cards, that's going to be just a number. How many number of checks and money orders, that's going to be how many checks and or money orders you got. And number of credit and debit cards is going to be how many credit or debit card donations you received. The columns, the fields on the right here is the actual dollar amount for all of those things combined. You're going to, and that's pretty self-explanatory, but for the credit and debit cards, if you put a number in here and you tab over to the amount, you put the amount in here. This little form here, this credit card entry form will pop up. The link for that will pop up, and that is where you will excuse me, I'm losing my voice. That's where you will enter all the information about the credit card. Card number expires, security code. You have to have that security code. You cannot, you won't be able to submit a donation without the security code from a debit or credit card. There is one of the forms, the 3UP forms that we use, it has not been updated yet to have a field for the security code. So you really want to make sure that you get that, because otherwise you won't be able to enter the donation and you will not be able to get credit for it. Okay. Here you enter all donations, the total of donations, and then here under table commission you multiply all donations times 0.30, and that is your commission. Re-enter the all expenses field from what you entered above, and then add the table commission and all expenses and enter that amount here under total due rep. And the total due to NROTC is going to be the total donations minus the total due rep. And then here, the file here that we're looking for is either a copy of the money order or a copy of the deposit slip if you're depositing into Wells Fargo. And again, the file can't be over 800 on either side of those numbers, and you have to name it the same as you named all the other ones and just put a number after it. Insights about this location, that's pretty easy. It's just weather and traffic. Questions, comments, or concerns, that would be, if there's anything that you need to make us aware of or whatever. The I need to reorder the following supplies field, that is not necessary at this point in time because we do not, saying that you need to reorder something in here is not going to get it reordered for you. So that's maybe going to change in the future, but you don't have to worry about that right now. And then you just sign your name, date, and submit. So that wraps it up. Whoops.